but I won't fade away.
Star Wars. I love it. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about why. I saw Star Wars for the first time, I think, when I was 10. But earlier, before that, I had watched the Ewok adventure Caravan of Courage and The Battle for Endor as a very little boy. So that was my first exposure to Star Wars. And I think my sister, or my uncle, I think, had a Chewbacca costume that was in my sister's room up above on like this closet. Anyways, he had left it at my grandparents' house. But that's one reason why I really like Star Wars. As I got older, I started to really kind of relate to and like kind of resonate with the story of Luke Skywalker being sent away and put in hiding, so to speak, on this horrible desert planet to be protected for his own good because he had a not so great parent that would want to hurt him. Because that's kind of what happened to me and my older sister. We were sent away when I was really little to South Dakota, which is a lot more like the ice planet Hoth than it is Tatooine. The other thing, just, even though like I didn't discover Star Wars until I was about 10, from that point on it really kind of gripped me, and it just had a hold of my worldview. I had a mountain bike and a smaller like dirt bike that I had when I got the dirt bike when I was 6, and I got the mountain bike when I was like 9. But I would pretend that the little dirt bike was an X-Wing and the mountain bike was the Millennium Falcon. And when I would put it into the higher gears, when I would switch gears, it would go between hyperspace and battle mode. And that summer, the 10-year-olds in my small town of 300 people had a little war with the 12-year-olds, and the 10-year-olds, we were the Ewoks, and the older kids were the stormtroopers. And I remember we had each built tree houses, like each group built tree houses, and they came and vandalized our tree house by painting it, but they used water soluble paint, and it just kind of washed away. And kids do stupid things sometimes, and I was one of them. Anyways, and then when I got married, my wife just kind of started giving me a Star Wars book every year for Christmas. And so I have a large collection of Star Wars books now because of it. But I really love Star Wars, so it's fine. And being able to share Star Wars with my son, my oldest son, Felix, especially, like taking him to go see The Force Awakens, seeing his eyes light up watching the trailers. I remember the first time he said Star Wars. It was so cool. And I took him to go see Rogue One, just me and him, on opening day.
We're here to watch Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Isn't that right?
Look, look at that. A circle, a guy.
You heard it here first. There's a circle, I guess.
There are a few times where I had to like leave the theater to go get some more popcorn or go to the bathroom, and he just stayed in there and watched it and was just so engaged by it, and it just really captures his imagination as well. And my younger son Linus is the kids all have these I don't know if you know what Tsum Tsums are. They're like Disney plush things, but my kids have a whole collection of Star Wars Tsum Tsums, they have a full collection of Star Wars Hot Wheels ships and all the galactic heroes. They have a ton of Star Wars things, but Linus, my youngest, is way into like Boba Fett and Yoda right now, and it's really cool. The other day, Felix was talking to me about Boba Fett and telling me about Darth Vader, and it was just really cool. When I took him to go see Rogue One, when I took Felix to go see Rogue One, I bought him a little package of Star Wars things, and one of them was a Death Star, and he opened it up and he was like, and like I like literally got like kind of teary-eyed because it was a really cool moment for me as a father. I really am kind of crying because he said Death Star. It's weird, probably, I know, and when I was in college, it also just doesn't impact my life. Well, it's not just a movie to me. It is a movie, but I aspire to make movies and make things as cool as Star Wars, and I don't know if I ever will, but the impact that Star Wars has had in cinema has been a big influence on me as a filmmaker and as a comedian, and I've directed Star Wars sketches. I've written Star Wars themed sketches as well for Studio C.
Sounds like you like Star Wars.
I love Star Wars! 3PO, what were the numbers on that?
The odds of surviving this attack are approximately 3,719 to 1.
That's like navigating an asteroid field.
It's slightly better than navigating an asteroid field.
Luke, this is good for the soul. How do you think Yoda lived until he was 900?
But a very impactful moment in my life was when I was in school. We watched The Empire Strikes Back with the sound off, and it blew my mind. It was just so well crafted, and to me, The Empire Strikes Back is like the greatest movie of all time. It's not just a great Star Wars movie, it's a great film. And if you ever have a chance, watch it without the sound. It's pretty cool. I remember noticing for the first time when watching without sound, when Han and Leia are in the hallway arguing on Echo Base, there's a guy that just comes and walks right in between them. And it's so funny, but also so kind of real, and that's one reason why like Star Wars just has this realism about it that it's a blue screen, which incidentally Star Wars helped pioneer blue screen technology. This actually says no signal, but anyways, that's one thing that makes Star Wars really amazing. It feels real even though it's not, and I think it's because of those subtle things like I was saying, the people walking through the frame, or interrupting people, or walking in between people, having conversations. Nothing's shiny or new. Everything's like broken, and it's hodgepodge together, which is kind of what life is. So, another thing, my dad really loves Star Wars, and he saw the original Star Wars like 17 times in the theater when he was 18. And when I was a teenager, I found he had a first edition copy of the Star Wars novelization. And on the inside, I remember it said the name Theo Gates over and over and over again. And I asked my dad, "Did you steal this from somebody?" And he told me that no, that Theo Gates was actually a person that your mother had cheated on me with. And so my mother had taken something that my dad loved very much and kind of rubbed it in his face, rubbed something he hated in his face. And so in a weird way, Star Wars had a very big part of why my parents got divorced. So, yeah. Star Wars is and always will be a large part of my life. This is one of the coolest things my wife got me for Christmas. Our house is also filled with a lot of Star Wars art and things. Got a lot of Funko Pop figures. And I guess to conclude, I just really like Star Wars. So, do you guys like Star Wars? I think Star Wars is great. I know some people don't like it, but to each their own. We can all be friends. Thanks for watching. This might have been boring.